What's up? All right, so we have a new Apex ceramic. So that's this stuff right here. It's a lot of gray though. Like this is gray, I'm dark, all this is gray, and now the boxes, they're orange on the other side. But we're gonna be installing 50% on the windshield, 35 on the front doors, and if we feel real ambitious, then we'll do the rear. But let's make sure we get some things all set up, and then we will start. Should be a good one. What's up, Godly? How you doing? Steve. It's been a minute. Yes. New Apex. So Apex was new. And then they came out with a 2 mil version. So same amount of heat rejection, but the 2 mil, they kind of stumbled into something. So I haven't touched this stuff yet. So we'll see. Hopefully it'll be good. How many cars a day should I be tinting? How many cars a day should I be tinting to be a good tinter? On your own, I mean, one a day isn't bad at all. You'll make more doing just one car a day than you will a lot of other things. But as a good business, two to three in a day is like a nice round number to shoot for. 2 to 3 in a day. Oh, I was so confused. Is Apex your new favorite? I think this stuff will be. So I have tried the 50%. I should send a message really quick. The fixed one that. Yeah, so I did try the 2 mil. I haven't seen the 35, the 35, 5 and 15, or 35, 5 and 20. Where's my camera? There's my camera. Why aren't you? Oh yeah, because we got to plug this in. We'll do 50 on the windshield and 35 on the front doors. Yeah, okay, so we got this. That's great. That all works. Do you have a waiting room, or do your customers just drop off? Yes, I do have a waiting room. It's nice. I like my waiting area. It's big. What darkness? Oh yeah, we did that. When are you having a tint class and how much? So I have them scheduled for April. Check out 313tint.com for more info on it. But if you have any other questions, let me know. It's 3 days. It's $1,600. Comes with a lot of tools and stuff, including like the tint keg and whatnot. Basically, you get a whole outfit of tools. and it's a lot of fun. I have an interview at a tint shop coming up this week. I have about a year of experience. Is there anything I should look out for in the interview? No, not really. Just sound ambitious, sound excited. People, like, most companies, they just want to hire somebody that is actually, like, interested and is going to show up. Because that's what we're worried about, is, like, you know, you just don't care. So sound like you care, and you should do great. Am I late or am I early? We're all done. Thanks for no, you're right on time. Yeah, we're about to get started. Your Tint Studio site is down. It shouldn't be. DetroitTintStudio.com? No, that's fine. Go to Detroit. So my business site for the shop is DetroitTintStudio.com. That's not down. I should have taken your class last year. I went to Chicago Auto Pros. We barely got much, and they charge more than you. Yeah, but you at least got knowledge. Chicago Auto Pros is one I would definitely recommend. But yeah, they don't give as much on tools and stuff. Yeah, they don't go crazy like that. I did help teach one of their first tint class over there. It's a cool shop, though. Like, they have a really, man, they're just on a different level of business over there. They are very, very cool people. I'm here trying to get motivated to start back tinting. What's up? All right, we'll throw this on. We'll get going, because I suppose I actually got to do something. My team just got done with our PPF training. Nice, very cool. The class was at the new facility with the DIY. I need to go see that place. That's super cool. I love that's like the creative business I really like about them. All right. Why is this not? Check. Oh, okay, it is working. How's the Lexan Apex? What? Oh, it's you. Is Geo better than Lexan? Yes, by far. Lexan's a budget brand, so that always comes at a cost. The cost is cheaper materials. Apex on the front 3. Yeah, this is my Explorer, so I'll definitely be back. If we got time, we'll do the rest of it. It just depends on how long this is going to take. I had another appointment this morning that came in at 11. It didn't take all that long, but live streams usually go for like ever. So the main things that I want to do on this: front doors, windshield, and then I want to spend some time with the film. So I don't get many of these that isn't a customer. So we're going to open this up and then get going. So what's cool about this is going to be the clarity. So it should have basically the same heat rejection that version 1 had, but there's two layers of ceramic and 2 high-quality layers of polyester, which means a little bit more on the thickness and a lot clearer on the clarity. So I have this on the Blazer on the windshield, so an early version. So this is more of like the full production line version right now. They're still going to be making small improvements here or there because they just move a lot of film. But this is basically the whole construction and clarity of it, which will be super cool. I was really impressed. 50% on the windshield, 35 on the Blazer front doors, and the windshield was clearer by like quite a bit. So I'm excited to see what this 35, this new version, is gonna look like on the windshield. Or not windshield, on the doors. Is Geo better than Lumar? Yeah. So there's like, they're going to be super comparable depending on the line that you're looking at. I like the company a lot more. It just depends on the type of business that you're doing. So like, if you're a high volume shop and you're doing lots of business, then you're going to be more in line with getting something like Lumar. That's going to make a lot of sense for your business just because they're a bigger company. But if you're a smaller shop, you're not going to be able to afford them. So this is the 35. This looks nice, man. I want to, let me open up the 20. I'm going to open up the 20 and take a look-see. I'm thinking of swapping this out with Pro Nano. I like it that much. I don't care that it's more expensive. I mean, I do care some, but they've come out with Carbon Plus, which is still good. They've come out with Apex, and I still haven't picked up any of the other ones yet. Woo! Yep. That just looks nice and clean. I like it. All right, let's put them back in the box. All right, let's, I guess let's prep this one, huh? I gotta find my keys. They might be in it, though. That would be nice. And I don't have to look very hard. Nope, it's not. See, I do that thing where I like lose everything. Oh, there they are. Put 20 on the doors. I would put 20 on the doors, but my wife drives this. And also, I'm tired of like looking out my rearview mirror every time I see a cop. With 35, I'm a lot more relaxed, so I haven't gotten pulled over for 20, but I always feel like I am, especially when you have the windshield tinted. So like 35 is kind of like a nice safe all around. You get a nice look on it. Oh, and the other reason is customer demos. Pretty much on any personal vehicle that I do, 35 on the front doors and having 20 on the rear, it's just so nice and easy to explain like the different shades because those are my most popular ones. Like, hey, what does it look like? Here's 50, here's 35, here's 20. And then it's a quick decision. If you don't have like a demo vehicle with those, it gets substantially more difficult. So my lease is actually going to be up on my Blazer, and I'm not sure what to do. I was thinking about a cheap car here for a little bit, But even cheap cars are not cheap anymore. No. No, so 50 on the windshield is more just for the windshield if you're trying to decide between 35 or 50 on the windshield. Because it's really easy to say, yeah, 35 is going to be a lot darker. And then on the sides, 20 is going to be the most common. So here's 20. You see what that looks like on the back. Easy peasy. And then on the front doors, seeing that step up is like, oh, that's what you mean by like a step up in shade. Did your prices go up because of inflation? They've kind of been up for a while during like the whole, I haven't changed them in a little bit here. I changed my pricing a lot of the time based on demand. So when things were super busy, I just gradually raised it. But it's at a good price. Or it's at a good, it's at a good place. How come you guys up north get away with installing dark tint up there, 35 windshield? Because you're not supposed to put anything. Because we're not in Texas. They're just not as strict here. So you don't have like statewide checks. You don't have to put stickers on anything. We don't have yearly vehicle inspections. So it's just a lot more like relaxed. You still can get pulled over for it, but it's so common to at least see tint on the front doors. People don't get hassled for it like they used to. Super chat. Yeah, well, thank you for the 5. Serious question, what happened to the toolkits? Oh, like on the site? We ran out of clay bars, so I had to take off the toolkits, unfortunately. So I'm still out of clay bars. I'm waiting on getting more. I have 55 full. Just like faking California. Yeah, we just don't have as strict of laws, thankfully. Like, I'd hate to have to put a sticker under the tent and all that. That kind of stuff is crazy to me. So it's just luck of where you live. It's worse in other states. It's better in some states. I'm in Oklahoma. I got 5 all the way around, 35 in the windshield. Nice. That's as dark as I'll go. 5 and 35. That's a good look. A little dark on the front, but I can definitely appreciate it. I've done that recently for somebody. I mean, shit, we had the 2%. Oh yeah, I should shut off the things. Power. And then I gotta turn off my lights. So we'll start with the doors. We'll do 35 on those. Are you using the new tint slip, 1 ounce per gallon? Yeah. Yeah, and it's a little improved from the initial launch too, so it's gonna be better. I haven't tried it with Apex. Apex doesn't have an aggressive adhesive though. But I was running into, this is a really hard thing to test. So when you run into some older cars especially, you just have those windows where the water beads a little too fast. And tint slip is really thin. So we added some stuff to make it more sticky, basically, in those types of situations. So it's a lot better than the initial launch, really. Where's my friggin' blades? Yeah, well, with the 5, thank you. I would like to support. I plan on getting both kits from you. Could I send you an email? Yeah, send me an email, matt@detroittintstudio.com. And I'll look out for it. Just ordered 7 rolls and a gallon of tint slip. They sent me a sample and it went so nice, so I went all in. Very cool. That's a lot. Yeah, hope you like it. I've been wanting a darker windshield on the Prius. I think I need to schedule another job with you. Oh, I remember. You drove up out of Ohio, right? It was quite a ways. I don't think... Is this one going to stick a little better here? Yeah, we'll just do this for now. What's with the Matico rolls? Marco is going to swing by on Tuesday next week. And so Matico sent out their windshield protection film. So we're going to shoot some videos, and I'm going to learn more about that kind of stuff. I think I saw somewhere that's probably $2,000 in film just between those 2 rolls. They're like 50-foot rolls. Shit's expensive. All right. So what are we doing? We're doing Apex 35. Let's see how it goes. So yeah, 1 ounce per gallon. I'm at 3 ounces in my tank, which is less soap than I've had to use. I used to use 4 ounces in my tank. But I've been really happy right now with 3. Super. What's wrong with the fog? We should have fog. Fog should have been working. It's been a minute. Yeah, just straight tint slip. Which is like especially nice. It's kind of I don't know. I'm still cautious. I know this is not going to be as much of a problem as something like Pro Nano would. The wrench lab with 5. Thank you. What's up, Creatiner? How you doing? Some people in the window tint stuff group are hard AF. Oh, I know. That group has grown a ton. There's always going to be some amount of like Facebook smack talking and whatnot. But overall, it's a really, really good group. Good. Yeah, how do you test out a slip solution on an expensive film? This is part of that test and also testing out a new film. What's that door cover? It's just a cheap door cover that's on Amazon. They're not great. The tape is the problem. But I can't recommend Carpet Shield anymore, so Carpet Shield's $50 a roll now. It's fucking ridiculous. How far down should I go on this? Pretty damn far on Explorer. We kick people or delete comments if they're being like ridiculous. There's always going to be some amount of like shop talk, and there's genuinely people that can't read the room, so they don't really know that they're being an ass or come off that way. So there's always like some leniency on that. We don't do a lot of policing in the group. That's not the point. But if somebody is just being an ass, that gets taken care of pretty quick. Some of them act like they've been, like they invented window tint. Oh, I know. That's every group. There's like gatekeeping, entitlement, and that's never been the point of the group. But you're always gonna pick up people that have been tinting for a while as time goes on. A lot of people don't like plotters in that group. Yeah, but just as equally, like if you make a post that's like for hand cutting, you'll get a bunch of people that are defending plotters. There's always like everybody is opposite with posts, which makes it kind of annoying to post sometimes. So like if I had a product that I was like, oh, I found this is really cool, you'd have like 10 people commenting about a cheaper bootleg alternative and how, oh, that product is stupid. That's just how it goes. Facebook is especially strong in that, but that's everywhere on the internet. You always have like 5 to 10 people that tell you how to do something completely different than what you're doing. Like, hey, this way works really well for me. They're like, oh yeah, well I do it this way. And you're like, ah, that's great, cool, I'm happy for you. That wasn't what my post was about, but thanks. I haven't had a stream in a minute. How dark is it? This is 35. So Apex isn't going to be any darker. Just depends on the shades that you get. That's all pretty normal. But it is going to be clearer. See, that was my, like, if you go back in my live streams, you'll hear me talk about carbon and ceramic a lot early on, about why I didn't pick up why I didn't hop on the carbon bandwagon so early. It's because I never like having to explain a film. Customers don't like, and you shouldn't ever have clarity trade-offs. So when you're trying to sell like an upgrade to somebody, it should come, in my opinion, with film, it should come with all the benefits of the one before it. So like Pro Classic is incredibly clear. And there's no moving parts. As soon as you add carbon, yeah, you block out heat. But then you start losing a little bit of clarity. Well, they've gotten so good now that you can't hardly notice that difference anymore. But when you go to like a super ceramic, which is what this is, then you sacrifice again some of that clarity until this shit came out. That's why I'm really excited about this stuff. because it's new ceramic that blocks out even more heat, where you're not going to sacrifice any clarity for it. So I'm excited for that. Have you tried this True Spray system? I have not. But, especially with all this slip solution issues, I can appreciate the idea there. To me, there was no difference between having a pump and having air. But, like, the only difference really is, like, yeah, you either add more pressure or your spray slows down. But when you have a high spray, you always got a real fine mist. So then you kind of use less water. So there's a good point to be made that I didn't really think about. But yeah, it looks like a cool system. I still like not having a pump, though. Because it's quiet. It's quiet, and I also don't have to worry. Okay, less about quiet, more about I don't have to recharge a battery because I'm going to forget. It's like filling up a tank. Like filling up a... Uh-oh, we're getting a phone call. Hello, Tint Studio. How can I help you?
Hi, how are you doing today?
Good, how are you?
Good, thanks. Do you guys do PPF?
No, we just specialize in window tinting.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
All right, have a good one.
You too.
Man, I would love to... Okay, no. We don't need to have actual radio music playing. I want to Bluetooth my phone to every car now. And just take the phone calls right on the car as I'm tinting them on stream. That'd be amazing. A lot of them have... You know what? A lot of them have CarPlay. Maybe I could just plug my phone into the car and just do that from now on. That would be cool. Yeah, phone numbers, I know. That's probably the only other thing. Everyone gets doxxed. Well, they should know when they call. The funny thing about, like, I wasn't even ready for that question. Because that's the first time I've been asked about PPF, like, really over the phone that I can remember. Need to check wire to... you guys are going to make it not fun. I did have an idea to do like a voice changer and stuff, but yeah, you guys are gonna make it not fun. Or can I just have this call may be recorded thing play as they call? That's how they take care of that. Like, there's so many recording things. Like, it doesn't matter. But yeah, I don't like putting people on the spot. The main thing that I would like is hearing customer calls and the dumb people that call on Saturdays at like 1 o'clock and want to get in same day. That would be my favorite. Okay, real talk. How do I have? Oh, there they are. I was gonna say, how do I have 2 tri-edges that I just got and I lost both of them? I don't think I'm gonna have any stickiness issues with an Explorer. Yeah, so like that type of evenness. When you have a pump behind it, you have that throughout your entire tank, so I can definitely appreciate it. Michigan is one party, you good? Oh, somebody did some research for me. Thank you. So if anything, you just might have an angry customer. Look at that. You know, Explorers have such a nice fixed edge at the top. Whew, that looks good. Some windows have a very rounded edge. A lot of GM stuff does. Good. Hybrid squeegee, what's the difference? The hardness of the squeegee. So the blue side's going to be a little harder than the orange side, but it's made out of, as far as I can tell, the same material on both sides. I could be wrong on that, but it sure feels like the same. You get a lot of structure from the squeegee as a whole, though. So, like, the whole thing is flexing together. So I can't tell a difference one side to the other. I use both sides the same. I don't flip it over. I just like the material it's made out of and how long it lasts. Do you know how fast tools can get to from Chicago if ordered today? Probably within 1 to 2 days. But do the faster shipping or order over $50 if you do. Because the first class packages, they always ship slower. It's just economy shipping versus like faster shipping. So pick the priority one or the 2 to 3 day. Sometimes it comes in next day, but I can't guarantee that. How long have you had the tint keg? Oh, I've had the tint keg for a long time. This one, not as long. I should show you a different one that I've had for much longer. They're tanks. They're literally like, they last forever. Very little can go wrong. So much so that Sun Distributing has a lifetime warranty on all the tint keg parts. So like anything that can wear out, as far as like the seals and whatnot, like it's all under a warranty, which is cool. Get the brass sprayer too. Brass sprayer is worth every penny. It's so much better than the plastic one. Plastic one is good, so I got one on the Tint Buster I can show you guys. The plastic one's just a little more economical, but the plastic, it's got a couple of failure points, and unless you have a spare, you have no way of using your keg. Where the brass one, you can drop that thing on the floor a bunch of times. It'll be fine. Here, I'll show you guys. I got this thing hanging here. Where's the sprayer end? Oh, yeah, it's in the backpack. All right, so this is the difference between the plastic sprayer and the brass one. Plastic one is still plenty good, but every time you push on this, it pulls up a pin. So what I've had happen before is the plastic in here sometimes will eventually like fail and bend down. And the other thing, luckily he's got the fan tip on this. This shouldn't snap off in the same way. I had the adjustable tip. Sometimes you just you set it on something, it falls on the floor. With enough falling, that adjustable tip will snap off. And remember, you have like anywhere from 70 to like 90 PSI behind that. So you can't get it to stay back on without falling off. I remember doing mobile jobs, and then my plastic sprayer broke, and then I'm like digging through my car for like a pump sprayer or something. There's a tint shop in the UK called Tint Fit. They're selling their kegs for $600. Do you think that's expensive? Maybe. It could be. What was that? What was that? Yeah. Wind, I guess. Oh, okay. I saw the door open up front, too. Damn. Not that I see. Do you see somebody through the window? I just make sure that front door is closed then. How much is the tint job today? It's on the house. Or it's costing me time and film. Ooh. It looks like tint. Huh? It was wind? Or a ghost. The noise was the Lord coming to check on his product. Yeah, right. Or a ghost. Oh, it was the Holy Ghost. What would you charge if this was a Customer's Explorer? I don't have a price for Apex. So if it was just ceramic, 2 front doors, and the full windshield, it's $250 for the windshield and $200 for the front doors right now. That'd be ceramic. Starting, I'm like $120 for the front doors and $150 probably was a gunshot. It wasn't the door. It was a gunshot. We're not like Detroit. You gotta understand, like, Detroit's a big area. So, like, there's Metro Detroit, which is like, you call Detroit-ish, which is just like suburbs. There's not a lot of reason to go to Detroit. There's like food. And then I guess some sports stuff happens if you're interested in sports. I can't get Matico to send me samples. Well, if you make some videos, they'll send like a trainer dude out here, so. At that point, I would probably, like, if you're that interested, I would just probably buy some Matico and try them out. Sell the jobs, see how you like it. I don't know much about Matico, though, but I guess I'll find out here soon. I'm interested in this whole, like, windshield protection topic. There's clearly some market for it, but it's a very expensive market. I don't like the adhesive on Matico. It's not aggressive. Dude, Geo adhesive is like way up there in comparison. Like, I've always thought Geo is like way too sticky. But hey, I mean, I want to film that last, so if it works, it works. I wasn't arguing with it, just trying to work with it as best I could. Can't get film if they won't answer. Why wouldn't they answer the phone? That's kind of crazy to me. See, that's what's crazy about a lot of companies is, like, I don't really know what it's like to work with a bunch of different companies, but I do know that to answer the phone, told me to email, never reply. I'd just hound them. I'd become a nuisance. If you really want that film from that company, but I don't like working with companies like that. To me, that says a lot if, like, they can't get back to you. But if it's like a unique thing that they carry and nobody else does, then you have very limited options. But some of you guys that now, at this point, if you're buying Geo, they take good care of everybody. And that was rare. That's one reason I liked them so much. Was because we can talk about different films all day long. But if you're not a big shop, for a lot of these companies, you're not worth their times, and they treat you that way, and that's really annoying. So, yeah, it's a great film if you can get on the phone with them. Like, that's stupid. If I couldn't contact the business, well, I'm trying to give them money. How bad are they going to be when I'm having trouble with them? Yeah, right. But these are all those problems that you don't know until you really start getting into window film. It's like, so at face value, when you're doing like a lot of research, it's like, oh, what about Lumar? What about XPEL? And it's like, yeah, okay, go try and order from them, and then let me know. Like, oh, after that, like, I don't know who to go to. I mean, that's one reason they've been so stupidly popular in the Facebook group, is because, like, there's a ginormous amount of people that, like, they got to start somewhere. Or they have smaller to medium-sized businesses, and they don't want to feel like they have to compete just to get somebody's attention when they're trying to buy film from them. It's like, you know, how many other things can I just go and buy? And why is it such a pain in the ass with window film? I don't know, but that's the way it's been for a long time with certain companies. But when you talk to a lot of film companies, like, they already have an established customer base, and small shops just don't move the needle as fast as big shops. So that's where they pour all their focus into, is they're going to cater to just bigger companies. That's just how it is. It's like trying to get Apple's attention, right? Like, if you're trying to sell an iPhone or become an Apple supplier or distributor, that's going to be a little tough. So there's just those types of attitudes with certain companies. You know, rightly so in some areas, but there's good and bad in both situations. Like, on the one hand, if you're a shop, it's nice to have a protected territory. What would you pay a tinter if you had to leave your shop for a week or two? Let's say you knew a tinter you could trust. It's a good question. Generally, I'd just try and keep them busy, have some type of an hourly with a commission rate. So it'd probably be like a sliding scale there. It would probably be an optional higher commission rate or a lower commission rate with a like an hourly wage. Because what's nice is when you're busy, you don't care about hourly. But if it's slow, you're not going to sit around if you're not getting paid. So I'd probably have, like, I don't know, generally, and I've been under the same thing, anywhere from like 30 to 50% commission. 50 is definitely really high. It's like really have a business partner without any equity in the company is kind of crazy. So we also have a baby shade here for right now. Let me take this down so you can get like a better comparison. So that's going to be 35, and that's going to be 20. There's quite a difference there. I also have no, there's the light inserts on the back too. Let's check it. He wants 5%. I want a flexible baby shade. Oh yeah, this meter's at 32% too. So that is definitely that's 35. 32. Nice. Let's put some film on the windshield. I like the color. They all look very similar on the outside to me when you use a good film. That's just nice. Cool. How much for the Apex job? That's a good question. I don't have a good answer. Because if I were to do a full car with a windshield in ceramic, it's $700. So like my idea for Apex was like, I don't know, $900 to $1,000. But the thing is, I just really like the film. So I'm like on the fence of just, I'd rather swap out Pro Nano with it at this point, just because I just really like it. But it should come at some cost. So I don't know. I'll think about it, but I have it. I like that they swapped out all the 1.5 mil. That's pretty crazy. What is that? There's like stuff up here. That's why I carry Carbon Plus. I probably shouldn't do that as hard. That sounded bad. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm noticing that telling clients to not open the windows for 2 days and any bubbles in 2 weeks is normal during cure time, makes them complain about every little thing. Thoughts? Do you walk out and like point out what the moisture pockets look like? 2 weeks is a little long. I generally say like any issues after a week, let me know, but everything should dry out nice and even. Also, how much do you charge for like a full car without a windshield? I don't know. My customers are pretty easygoing. I think a big part of that is just being at a certain price point. Sedan about 200. Yeah, it's a little cheap. It's not terrible, but that is definitely going to be a pickier customer. It's kind of funny how that works. But I would also work on then a way to try and make it easier for you to explain with like a visual. So maybe you could set up a window and do a time lapse of the film drying out. Or have pictures of like white air pockets versus like the clearer water pockets. That way there's like a visual there. But yeah, those types of people drive me crazy. It's like, just give us some time. Everything will be fine. But yeah, you're doing something. You're doing something to attract that person. It's hard to say exactly what, but it's generally price is like the first thing. But I always walk out with customers now. I walk out, I point out the water pockets, just like, hey, you see how this looks a little uneven? Or if there's some obvious water pockets, it's like, you see that? That'll dry out. But, I don't know, maybe it's best to not mention anything. Oh, I did that thing where I misted the windshield. I shouldn't do that. I've had people yelling at me and then come back a week later. That's where you make a TikTok video. Record getting yelled at and then record them when they come back in. And then you send that to all your customers. Watch this video and then it'll hopefully ease you up. Guy pays $9.50 and is like, cool, thanks, bro. Guy pays $200. What's this? What's that? Oh, yeah. The best that I've come up with is a real cheap price doesn't mean that you're getting a worse job. It means you're getting the same thing for less money. So from a tinter's perspective, you're like, I didn't charge you very much. What do you expect? Well, what they expect is a good job, regardless of the price. And the other side of it is that price doesn't allow you a ton of time with the car. So then you have to speed up. Well, when you go too fast, sometimes you let things go. And then especially when a customer has an issue, well, now you're losing money by trying to take care of them. And another thing is, they don't necessarily, like, one of the reasons they're shopping for a cheaper price is because they don't have much money to spend. So then they want their money to then go farther. Where somebody with a more disposable income has more things going on and doesn't care as much. So when you go to a good shop and you just have a nice job, then, oh, cool, thanks, looks great. And they hop in their car and they leave. You don't get bothered. Higher dollars don't attract more picky people. You can have anybody that's picky, but you kind of hit this like nice middle of the road clientele that doesn't hassle you about stuff. But you shouldn't have stuff to be hassled about either. Is it true that if you tint the front windshield, it's a problem in an accident? I was told if a car gets on, firefighters can break the windshield because the tint will hold it together. Oh, yeah, the tint will definitely hold the film together. Well, the windshield's laminated, so that's already going to be held together. But you're right about the doors. But then again, these front doors are laminated too, so yeah. If you're hitting it, and you're trying to like punch something through the tint, you can get through it. It's fine. It'll, like, the difference is if you had like a non-laminated window. So let me check my rear door, because I actually don't know what this is. Okay, so this is tempered. So you see a curved edge here. So that means that it's just one sheet of glass. So if that breaks, the whole thing's going to shatter and fall down into the door. This is a laminated window. And you can see a ridge here. Let's see if we can focus a little bit better. You can see a ridge here. So there's one piece of glass, a like glue sheet holding another piece of glass together. So they do that for sound to keep it quieter. So the tint's not really going to do anything more to that than what's already there. But on these aren't going to be held together unless they're tinted. But you're talking about like if it got hit with, somebody was mowing a lawn and kicked a rock and broke the window, that would fall apart. This would just look cracked and whatnot. But if the rear was tinted, it would shatter and be held together, but you could easily punch through it because tint really isn't that strong. So it's kind of misleading. I feel bad for firefighters fighting clear plaques. Yeah, on a security film, you're not going to get in the car. But you got to weigh your safety options. Does it really matter that much? In most cases, no, that's never going to be a situation, so I don't know. My buddy's tint guy said he needs to razor/sand down his window dots to do front and back windows. Is that normal? So on the top portions, it can make it look cleaner. You don't have to do it. So you're not going to see it on this. Wait. Oh no, did I, please tell me I didn't do that thing. Oh, no. Okay, I'm all right. I freaked out for a sec. I almost thought I did 50. Let's put that in the box. All right, let's put this on. So the idea is if you sand the dots down, like a lot of dots, they sit on the glass so you can feel them. What happens is the glue doesn't fill in the air gap, so you have like a silvering or a white border around the whole window. So some guys will sand it to the point where it's flush with the glass and you won't see that anymore. I never liked the idea of taking sandpaper to glass though like that. That always kind of freaked me out. So I just clean it and tint it as is. There's always going to be silvering around that. I don't just like you asking me about it, I feel like if you're trying to explain that to customers, it's more headache than it's worth to explain. Because it's like, wait, why do you have to sand down my glass? That sounds like you're going to scratch the shit out of it. Super chat. What do we got? Stop water specks behind the windshield tint and what? Daniel, thank you for the 2. Can you explain? Stop water specks behind windshield tint install. I don't understand. If you're talking about dirt specks, like this whole install is going to be talking about how to keep windshields clean when you're installing it. Just watch this whole process. Sounds like water specks mean dirt speck. After I install the tint, there are very small water bubbles. Yeah, those will dry. That's normal. So you can press out as much water as you can, but it's kind of pointless. At some point, like, just give up. There will be, so there's a difference, right? If there are specks that you can touch and feel, those are dirt specks. If it's just small water pockets, squeegee out what you can within the first minute, and then let it sit. It'll dry. Try it on your own car. Leave it for a few days. Come back to it. You'll notice that basically everything is gone. After a week, everything should be all gone. For sure. In the summertime, it'll be gone within a day. Did you install 35 on a windshield instead of 50? I accidentally installed. Ooh. Well, if you want to get it swapped out, you can ship it back and we can send you a different percentage. Yeah, I'd still install 35 on it, but it is definitely a darker look. It's nice to see out of, but it stands out as being pretty dark. I am being reminded how little there is to shrink on an Explorer windshield. They're just so straightforward. And you have so much space to work with on the inside. Explorers are awesome. Can you give me some film specs? There's film spec numbers listed on the website, 313tint.com. I don't have them listed by memory, though. In here, I'll take a piece and we'll walk up front. But they did tell me this has a haze of less than 1%. I don't really know what that means. I forgot. I need to know what the other ones are. But what's cool is they don't just like make a film and not know much about it until it's installed and then like look at it. They actually like do measurements on the film to measure stuff like clarity. Oh, that was Korea tinter. Oh, damn. Yeah, I still wouldn't have them on the top of my head. I'm sorry, man. But if this means anything, the clarity is lower than 1%, which is cool. But as far as TSER numbers and all that, yeah, I would look at the individual ones. They got all the specs listed. Either 313tint.com or go to geoshieldUSA.com. Charger. Is that a super chat? Oh, that was. Hang on. Once I'm done shrinking this windshield, I'll answer the super chat. This one's not a good example. But it's hard to explain how to shrink a charger without having a charger. I've got a lot of older videos on the channel with chargers in them. Chargers are definitely like a more rounded back window. The best thing to do is hold up the film and flatten it out as you're shrinking it. I can show you more at the top what I mean by that. But this is not a very curved windshield. Shane, did you pull specs? I forget that chat does stuff. That's awesome. Okay, so when you get closer and closer to the end of a windshield or a back window. So if you have like these fingers, right? What you have is peaks and valleys. So you have parts that are touching the glass and you have parts that are raised. The parts that are raised are taking on the most amount of heat. So that's going to cause those areas to shrink faster than anything around it. You just need to spread out the film. So when you lift it up off the glass, it's harder to see exactly what you're shrinking, but just know If I have this amount of heat, like if I have my heat gun pointed here and it's shrinking, if I pull the film off the glass, it's going to shrink at the same rate. I just have more film to shrink. So do that for a little bit and then let it go and see how close it gets to the glass. And then make your adjustments. So lift, point the heat just past where the film touches the glass and just start going up. It's going to shrink some. How much? Let it go, check it out, pick it back up, shrink it more. That's how you're going to get the hang of pull shrinking really fast. So that's what you need to do on a charger, really. You're just going to lift up the edges. So you have that trunk lid that's kind of in the way. So you can do that more at the top, but at the bottom, just sneak your finger under the film and just hold it up and then just shrink that whole area and let go. You'll probably have to do it a few times. There's a lot of finessing in a charger. I've recently been having 15% requested on front to counter the windshield not being tinted. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, that's another thing. A match for me is when you're sitting in the car and you're looking out. How close does that color come? How close does that? Wow, that is the worst I think I've ever snapped a blade. How did that even happen? Yikes. All right. But matches on cars for people are different. Some of them just, they look at the outside. How close does the front look at the back? I don't think there's much that you can say other than we'll do the best we can to get as close as possible. And when I've been tinting for other companies, most of the time there hasn't been any issue. People are like, you want the front two to match? Okay, no problem. And they bring the keys in the back, you tint it as close as you can, fine, you're out the door. If they have like a 28% and you don't have like a 30, well then you're gonna have to I would talk to that customer ahead of time. Just do 20% unless they ask otherwise. Yeah, I always check the glass. Most of the stuff that I get is like F-150s, Rams, Silverados. I just had a F-Pace in here this morning. That was 20 was fine on that one too. No worries. But then inevitably, like at another shop, I used to get a lot of Audis and BMWs. That drove me crazy. All I had to pick from was like 35 and 20, and I had one film type. Oh yeah, this is good film here. So, are you using tint slip? Yes. So we better cross our fingers real hard that it works on stream. This is the first time I'm using it with Apex at all. Is that my USPS box over on the floor by Jack? Could be. Is that strategic mobile tinting? Is that their order? Yes. Oh my God, it is. Yes, it is. Hang on one second. Hello, Tint Studio, how can I help you?
Yeah, I was wondering if you tint semi-trucks up there.
Oh, front doors? Yeah, we can accommodate semi-trucks.
Yeah, just the front doors. That's all I want.
Okay, yeah, they're the semi-truck front doors. They start at $250, but yeah, we can do them.
Do you come bring it up there to you?
You got to bring it up here.
Okay. Okay. All right. How much in advance do I have to call you when I'm ready to bring it up?
Usually just a few days notice is fine. If you're flexible on time, we can usually work out a spot. As we're coming more into springtime, the schedule's gonna kind of fill out a little bit more, but during the week we have a lot more availability.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
All right, no problem. Ooh, semi. We're getting some interesting calls. He said, woo. Dude, that was really funny. Yeah, of all the orders, of course, that's yours sitting there. All right, let's see how this works. So this is, let me turn this off first. Turn the meter on. Why does it just say 500? Oh, there it goes. Okay. So we're going to set it to like 300. So this isn't going to be a super accurate. You see when you go from no glass, there's no glass because I broke that piece. I need to get more. So it says 380. The diode says like 300. So let's just put this on here and see where it goes. Oh my God. Yeah, that's all the way down to 28. So ceramic, that's at 72. That's Pro Nano ceramic. So that basically like cuts it in half yet again. That's what's so cool about Apex. I love these gradual step downs. I'm going to put it there. I don't even want to throw it out. I mean, it makes sense. When you got one layer ceramic, it blocks out so much heat, and then when you put another layer ceramic, it blocks out double the heat. It'd be fun to put cheap tin on a window and see how long it lasts. Yeah, I have a really good idea, and it worked. It made it faster. I was able to get film faded within 2 weeks, and then really faded within a month. So here's like an interesting idea. If you take like a sun bulb, so like a reptile bulb, that's about as accurate of a bulb with probably out going into like some crazy expensive like commercial solution. The idea was you leave that film sitting a certain distance away so the glass stays hot, like like you're at high noon or something. How long is that back glass getting beat down by that sun? Like probably from like here to here. Maybe like 4 to 6 hours? So I wonder if you keep tint on a bulb like that with similar heat conditions, if it would essentially be like every day that passes by that tint is sitting there is like baking it in the sun for like 3 or 4 days. So it's almost a way of like speeding up time. It's a little iffy because I'm not a scientist like that, but it sounds cool. So like in a month, there was like noticeably terrible fade on this cheap film. So like at one point I wanted to make like a wall and have like a bunch of light bulbs, but it'd be expensive. It'd be expensive to keep on. And I'd worry about maybe like a fire or something. I don't know. It'd be like having a bunch of terrariums here. But pick a couple of popular films, see how long they last, or see if they last for a certain amount of time over some other ones. I don't know. At the end of the day, it's not super scientific, so I should probably tuck this guy up here. We should take out this mirror. This comes off too, but I don't know if I need to. is your neighbor's plug. What? What does that mean? Oh, 5 Impreza, any advice? Use a lot of soapy water on the quarters. Like, use extra soapy water so you have an easier time. Those front quarters are going to be, like, the most annoying part about that Impreza. So there's 2 types of Ford mirrors. Oh, God, it does get in the way. There's this one, which comes off easily. And then there's another one, which does not come off easily. And now I'm in a pickle. There we go. Now we are out of the pickle. So this is like the easy clip. If you put a little screwdriver or something, you pry it away from the bottom, the whole thing will come out. If it's the other one, somebody needs to try this for me. I got a tip from somebody that joined the class last year. Take one of these, put it along the side, so there's like a little spot in the mirror. Put it on the side, keep like a hard card up against the glass, so you're not putting any pressure up against the glass or it's evenly distributed, and then you're gonna twist this to the side. Not underneath, but to the side, and then he said they fall right off. Somebody needs to try that. This is like a little panel clip thing. I'm still waiting to get a Ford mirror like that. Everything now has a screw, or they pop off like that. It's kind of annoying. I would love to try it. I'd also be scared. Have you ever cracked a windshield? I have. Actually, I've only broken 2 windshields, and I've pulled chunks of glass clean out of it. So it was with this style mirror. I used to see people, they're like, oh yeah, you can just take your hand, put it here, and then just peel it off the tab. Well, on a cheap aftermarket piece of glass, what you'll do is you go to do that, and you literally just tear a chunk of glass right out of the windshield. And then you'll be buying him a new windshield. Don't do that. Is that Nissan in the background here? Yeah, that's a class car. I'm going to bed. I don't blame you. Have a good night. Yeah, being on the opposite side of the world, that gets tough with the U.S. I was over in the Philippines in December through part of January. Part of it was nice. When we'd go to bed and I'd wake up, like all the YouTubers that I watch would have videos posted. The day would already be like mostly over. And I'd just sleep through it and kind of play catch up. Oh no. I broke a windshield and the customer thanked me because his windshield was all chipped and he gets a new one. Damn. Well, at least there was a silver lining there. What vehicle was the windshield? That sucks. I've been there. I've done it. That's why you gotta weigh your options. So like, Ford mirrors were a topic for a long time. And all the methods that I've seen all look the same. They try and wedge something under the pin, and that puts a stupid amount of pressure on the glass. So, older Expedition. Oh, yep. That sucks. So you had the mirror that is like in the center of the windshield with like nothing around it. Ugh. Yep. That's a tough choice. Because you'd splice it, but the splice looks really bad on a mirror, on a windshield like that. Insurance paid for it. Nice. That's even better. Okay, should we tape? This is plastic, this is fabric. Do I care? Not really. Should probably put a little tape around this kind of stuff. So there is like a collision. These are those cameras and stuff. Like these are those collision avoidance things and lane keep, and you know, they're putting other stuff in them depending on your trim level. So this one is all built into a dotted area, and that's the way that they do most of them. That's nice, because you just tint around all of that, and it doesn't look bad. But for anybody that's new with something like that. So you can pull off a lot of mirrors still, because there's not a camera system built into the mirror. It's all around that. So if we look up here, yeah, that's where you see like this triangle right there. So that's not getting tinted over or anything. If I remove that, this would probably be due for a recalibration. And that would cost as much as tinting the windshield in ceramic. I need to get into recalibrations. That's what I need to do. I was seriously considering it for a little bit. It's like 20 grand worth of equipment. But you like each window is like, I don't know, like 250. And there's just a ton of stuff that needs to be recalibrated now. So it's a pretty good business. Do a recalibration inside of like under an hour. It's all software. Software and measurements. All right, so we're going to give this a little bit of a scrub down before we get too started. Let me put a towel over the rear too. My tinter used Elmer's glue. Still holding after 10 years. Does it look yellow up there? That's what I've always heard, is that it's like there's no UV protection on the Elmer's glue, so that's what's sitting up against the glass. So then it like starts to turn yellow. So if you're inside looking up there. But that's cool. Is this Apex Ultra? Yes, this is the new. Nope, not yet. Okay, well then I 10 years, that's, I wouldn't expect anything to last longer than that, so I'd say you're probably good. Has this never been tinted? Yep, this is brand new. But don't worry, I'm sure for one excuse or another, this will probably be tinted 50 times over, just like everything else that I own. That's why I waited. Like, we've had this for about a month now. That's why I waited. It's like, I want to put something that I just want to leave on there and have no excuse to take it off. And then I'll have something. I always have like a spare vehicle that's my like test dummy on all of this for videos. Have you guys seen the shorts lately? Do you know how many times I'm retinting stuff? Whether that be for tests or video. It's a lot. Oh yeah, I have like a sticker tab over there that I have to make sure is off. And then I have the class, like, summertime gets rough. So I have a vehicle that I want to bring in. Oh my God, I totally forgot about this. Okay, so I like to offer up my personal vehicles for the class, right? But the thing is, that means that if I want it tinted, then I have to untint it for the class, or we have to spend time removing all the tint. And that's just like, you can learn how to do tint removals. Like, I'll show you, but I don't want you guys to spend like a couple hours doing tint removals. But also, the vehicle that I bring in is a good demo vehicle. So I just, like, this just hit me today. A good happy medium for all of this is a SUV that has factory privacy glass on the rear. Then we tint the front doors, and that doesn't matter as much. And then we can untint just the front doors and leave no tint on the rear. So then it's a good all-around demo vehicle, works out for the classes. I can drive it in, I can sell off of it. Other than that, doing a full car, yikes. So I don't know what to do now. I'm like even more confused than I was. But if I buy another car, it's more money I don't feel like spending right now. Yikes. I can leave it sitting out in the parking lot, I guess, because I don't want it sitting in here the whole time. And then we'll go to start it and the battery's going to be dead. We rented cars for the first class. That was expensive. Like a cheap rental was like $400 for 3 days. I'm in a pickle. Tint Studio Maserati, yeah, no. So, it's kind of funny how well the Blazer has worked out. And it's fine. That was the first vehicle that I leased, where I'm like, yeah, I'm going to trade this in, and then I'm going to get something else. So I was under that mindset the whole time. And now everything's stupid expensive. Or it doesn't make sense. Wow, I am just dropping tools on the floor. Oh, because I shouldn't be wearing a tool belt. One, two. Have you ever seen color tint? Do you know what channel you're watching? Dude, I live tint. Of course. There's no reputable manufacturers, though. So you can't guarantee anything's gonna last. All right, let's do this. I'm new to tinting. I run my business through Snapchat, and I need advice on how to take my marketing to the next level. Get a website. Get a website. Google Maps listings. Just do a lot of the traditional stuff. You can still like have a dominant presence on a platform where people follow you. And make that part of your business and just get a lot of clients from there, but you should also have a website. A website and maps listings are like the main things that'll get like general business. But if you're good with video, you can also take those videos that you shoot and you can run those as ads on other platforms. And put them on your website too. So when people find your website, they also find the videos that you've posted. But if I had a big following on any social platform, oh yeah, then just keep doing that. And then you'll find there's like everybody is all doing like similar things. So you always have to figure out like a unique angle or twist or something unique to you that can help you stand out. That's just what competition is. It's the new Tint Studio Maserati. Yeah, an Explorer. You know what? I'm really happy with this though. Seats are comfy. We went with the XLT, which is like not base, one up from there, which they don't really make base model ones right now. And then we added the sport trim package, which so I get some darker wheels, darker accents, and it does that like two-tone seat thing, which is kind of cool. But they all come with like heated steering wheel, heated seats, remote start. Their key fobs are friggin' awesome. They've always been awesome. Like, you guys heard me bitch about Toyota remote start? Oh, Ford's so much better. I can set it for 15 minutes, and then I can go on the app and extend the time. I can open the doors, and it still stays remote started. No, so we got rid of the van a while ago because we had to close on the house. So I have literally been with the Blazer and that car over there for like the past, almost like a year, probably at this point. And the car market was just crazy. So we still didn't need to jump into something right away, but it was, we're coming into summertime, classes were starting again, really needed to pick something else that, my wife wouldn't be stranded at home. So this is about the best bang for your buck. Tahoe looks cool. I wanted to get another van. Fuck, dude, I don't want to spend $1,000 on both of them. This is what, $650 a month? on a lease with 1,000 down. Everything's crazy right now. No eco boost? I don't think so. I don't really care about what engine's in it. It does the job. It doesn't feel slow. Yeah, I had a Black Explorer. We sold that when everything was kind of crazy and cars were going a little bit more. All right. So let's do this. Yeah, I didn't see any reason to get anything more expensive than this one as far as an Explorer without going like maybe 8 to 10 grand more. I'm getting something more sporty, but I didn't care. I'm in dad mode. It's like, if it makes sense, it makes sense. I want it to be comfy. I want it to have space. Because we gotta haul shit around. I miss our van. Just gotta have all-wheel drive. That's always like a must. So it makes it tough for the car. Not as many cars have all-wheel drive. But we got this and... Oh, and with the Blazer. We had some snowstorms in the past couple weeks. That was fun. Both of them are great in snow. Snow's fun. I don't have to drive a lot anymore. So anytime it snows, it's like, whee! If you want speed, you don't get a full size. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I agree with that. Like, and the thing is, speeding... Okay, one, so this is tint slip, and it's still moving. Like, woo! That's great. Oh, yeah, and the curling. I can talk about that a little bit. So, but first, let's squeegee this out. Yeah, I was surprised at all the stuff that this came with. Like, it was like, we didn't want cloth seats. And so, like, a lot of the base stuff is like, oh, yeah, it's got that. Heating steering wheel, that was a nice bonus. I've never had a vehicle with a heated steering wheel. My younger brother, he would always tell me, he's like, oh, you gotta get a heated steering wheel. I'm like, I just didn't have it. He's like, oh, they're so nice. And they are. It's so nice. The seats and the steering wheel, they warm up so fast. So those two things together, when the vehicle's already cold, oh man, it's so comfy, so quick. It's got soft seats. Okay, so I use 1 ounce per gallon. So in a 3-gallon keg, I put 3 ounces right now. So real quick with the curling issues, we all thought it was adhesive, but what never made sense was C2 didn't have any curling issues, and Carbon Plus and Apex did. The only difference is that there's ceramic. So then you think that, hey, maybe people are overheating the film, maybe it's their slip solutions, and it's just more apparent with this. It's hard to tell. They have some, like, top coat process that they do. And basically, they do a double top coat process for the Carbon Plus and Apex. They might do that with Pro Nano as well. I don't remember. But they seem to have come to the conclusion that that top coat process was adding stress on the film as it was curing, and would cause it to basically like tension up, and there was tension that would pull the film back. So that's that is something that they should have mostly adjusted for and are fine tweaking. So hopefully this won't curl back. But it also doesn't have like a, does it? The dots are laminated too, so it wouldn't be as apparent on this. But I've had Carbon Plus. Oh yeah, the Ultima, that has laminated dots too, and that would curl back too. Geo sent me the new Carbon Plus, and I guarantee it won't have that curl back anymore. That's good. This is my first time really testing that out, and we're doing it with Apex. So yeah, I never had a problem with C2, which was just, so it was wild to me that those two films, and they said it was driving them crazy because they would have phone calls like almost every day about it and beating their heads against the wall trying to figure out what the hell was going on. But everything slid on the windshield really, really nice. I'd expect it to, but at the same time, it's nice to know that it did. I've really liked using it. So everything was on the windshield, and I was able to leave it there for a little bit, and it still like allowed you to tweak the film. That to me is so important in installations. Just to be able to put the film on the glass, let it rest, because you need to readjust or squeegee something or just shift. So especially on doors and windshields, unfortunately it's not hot outside right now, so it's hard to test for everything in that way. But between what I was using before and this, I like this better. I love the adhesive on Apex Ultra. It doesn't tack until you want it to, then it's cement. Yeah, so that's kind of the idea behind these. So these are acrylic adhesives. So, and actually what's interesting about that is you'll notice when you remove the films, they don't leave lots of glue behind. This is also an acrylic adhesive. So when you stick this to something, generally it sticks to this, so then you can pull it back and it's clean. So like it's a different type of adhesive system on Carbon, Carbon Plus, and Apex. So it's, from what they've told me, it's more of a chemical bond to the glass when it's sitting there, when it's all dried out and said and done. So they should be a lot more stable, where Pro Nano and Pro Classic, they have, I'm trying to remember exactly what adhesive that they have. I don't remember what they call it. It's still a very good aggressive adhesive, but it's a pressure sensitive adhesive too. That still lasts a long time. It's just this is like a new generation of adhesives, basically. I don't think there's really going to be like any type of practical difference between clarity and whatnot, but these, they stick like hell. But C2 has always been a little easier to move around than Pro Classic and Pro Nano. Pro Nano sucks to remove? Yeah. Yep. It does. I've never been able to do anything that makes it easier to remove. No amount of steamer. Like, steamer is trade-off, like, time. It doesn't really help all that much. Oh, yeah, I remember. So I got these bottles so I could have my alcohol mix in other bottles because I'm doing so much, like, sample testing. So, like, we have current version of Tint Slip, and then we're working on always, like, improving it. So we're having different iterations of it made. And, like, it's already really good. But it can be better. What are you doing with Matico? Marco's coming in Tuesday. And we're going to break a windshield or something. I didn't even know entirely what we're doing. But they sent over their Clearplex. Because I saw him post some videos about it. And I'm like, man, that's such an interesting topic. Like, you should just do some longer videos on it. And he's like, how about I come out there? I was like, yeah. Nobody visits. Come on out. No, I think it's going to be on the rental car that he's bringing. Cool. Where's the Zep bottle? Oh, that's the difference. Oh, I like this better. This is like a, I don't know, I saw these at Home Depot. Zep's got like a little rest for your finger right here. So like you can squeeze it right here. This doesn't have a rest for your finger, so I just noticed like your finger slides up and you can't press here. That's kind of annoying. What kind of air compressor do you use? I've seen yours locks when you fill up your keg. Yeah, so there's, this has a pressure regulator, so I didn't know what that meant or how they work. I still don't know how they work. But basically, you just turn it, you can loosen it up till it gets to the PSI that you want. So I can put my sprayer on there, or the air compressor on there. That kicks on when it drops below a certain point, like all air compressors do. But it'll fill the tank up all the way, and it'll only fill the line up past, or up to 90 is what I have it set to right now. This is also a quiet air compressor. I wanted a quiet one because of video. So I can take that off, but it only filled it up to 90 where the tank will keep on going. I got them off of Amazon. But it's a little bit more expensive. I was just trying to find the quietest air compressor that I could find. I like this. This looks nice. If anything, what I really want to do is swap out 35 from Pro Nano to have 35 in Apex, just because I like this tone a lot better. There's no issues with the 20. There's no issues with the 50. It's that 35 that, for whatever reason, on Pro Nano looks warm. And it's fine. But it's definitely warm. This is nice and neutral. Oh no, are you kidding me? I got a fucking hair right there. Well, if it was gonna happen on anything, it was gonna happen on mine. I gotta do some surgery, yo. It's already been sitting for too long. Let's find out what happens. Oh, where is it? Oh, there it is. It's right here. No. I gotta live with this. It's not like I'm pulling this off in a week. Over on the side, I can live with that. It's small. In the center, fuck that. I wholeheartedly agree with customers on this one. If it's in your line of sight, fuck that. It's one guy right there. Always the small ones that drive me crazy. Alright, let's see. We get it. Should still being a pain. Ooh, this one's a stupid one. There we go. I got it. I've given up. I always have a speck in my eyesight. There's always going to be like something in between the film and the glass, right? Oh, did I just move it? Shut up. Oh, fucking hell. Now it's going to be too many, huh? Yeah, I probably just ruined it. There's that one. Oh, it's gone. This is some thick stuff. Yeah, I've seen the same thing. I've seen people take tape. I haven't got it to work. To me, it's for the bigger stuff. The small embedded ones, like, you can barely flick them out with your fingernail, let alone, like, try and stick something there, but hey. Because for me, the bigger hairs are easy to take care of. You just barely tap them, and they start falling out. It's the real, like, micro, thin stuff that'll, like, wiggle its way into the glue. You're putting a lot of pressure on it when you're squeegeeing it out, and if you just don't catch it, like, that's when you can see it. So we'll check it out. No, that's good. Yeah, because I had something, like, way worse in the windshield. I had something, like, here, and then as we pulled it back, there was one here and one there. No, it's fine. It's all good now. Thankfully. I've always liked thicker films with windshields, too. They hold together better as you're, as you're unrolling it, as you're peeling it back. On doors, they're a little bit harder to maneuver, though. Sweet. I don't feel like I have to yank it off the windshield. Good. Yay, I did it. It looks good. We saved it. Good, good, good. Oh, hey, this hasn't curled back. What the heck? Isn't it supposed to curl back? Good. And it had plenty of slip on there. I'll shoot Burns a text and tell him I didn't have any curl back issues, and he's gonna go, oh my God. I can't believe it. That guy that always has a problem doesn't have a problem. Nice. Yeah, it cleaned out pretty well. Cool. That's good to know. That looks really nice. And it all stuck. And you guys heard it. It was peeling back off the window. It's been, what, it was sitting on there for probably about 5 minutes before I had to pull it back. When those minutes start ticking by, it is bonding to the glass. It's drying out. So you you gotta make those decisions pretty quickly. So squeegee everything out, spray it, go over it with a nice firm pass, wipe off the outside, check it over. I'll do that. I try and do that really quick within when I install it. Don't do that. Go do something else and then come back and try and fix it because it's going to be too stuck. If there's a couple little water pockets and stuff towards the edges like here, you still can get away with squeegeeing some of that out, but it's pretty cool right now in the shop. If it was a hot day, this shit's drying out quicker. Nice. All right, cool. Well, I got a windshield and front doors. Both turned out really, really nice. I don't get this. Why'd they put an Explorer on my windshield? I already have one. It's been funny. It's cold outside, and we still miss not having ceramic. So like I say, it's not as important in the winter. Fuck that. Your vehicle heats up. It's comfy, and then when the sun's shining through, it then feels hot, and you're wearing a jacket. Ceramic's always nice. Period. All right, I gotta find my mirror tool. Yes. I put that in the same spot every time. Mirror tool. So if you're reapplying these, don't just shove these back on. The ball of this mirror, like that connector, it can pop out. And once it pops out, from what I hear, you can never pop it back in. So if you get this is a clamp tool. So this puts pressure on the mirror tab. This puts pressure on the top of it. It's like, what? Maybe like $30? $20, $30? I don't know. And so you hook it on the top, and you crimp it, and then that slides, or you just put some pressure, and it slides that mirror back down. Oh no. No, sorry, this is fine. I'm listening to a comment. I finally found the Container Store. It was nearby me, and I got that Alpha shelf for the carpet shield. It's much easier. Here's what sucks though. Carpet shield now went up to carpet shield's $50 a roll. Shit's expensive. All right. Pull this off. Yeah. I got a nice windshield. I still don't see any curling. Although, if there was one vehicle that I would not expect to have curling, it would be just a nice Explorer or F-150. Any of those. They generally don't have any type of issues. Oh, let's put this back where it needs to go. What time is it? Is it 2 or is it 3? Oh, yeah, it's 3. Okay, I'm not going to do the rest of it today. I'll do 50 over the rest of it on another day. But I was going to start this live stream at like 10:30, 11 o'clock today, and then I had an appointment, so I didn't get started until like noon. Look at that. That looks so good. Isn't that nice? If you go live enough times, eventually you're not going to run into any terrible issues. Film worked out, slip solution worked out. Everything got installed. Oh yeah, we gotta put this thing back on. This is where everything goes wrong. Clip this back in and break it. Oh, yeah. See, just like that. There we go. Just kidding. Dark gray paint and tint. It's so gray. So this is the decision that I had to make on this. I like it. It's a little too much gray, but I'd rather have the extra gray than... I'd rather have black wheels, because the wheels are the same color as the paint, but at least they do the mirrors in black and stuff like that. So like it's nice and uniform. Looks good. So the sport package, it adds those like exhaust ends on it. I think it adds a hitch, which was surprising. I don't know. It got rid of like the chrome pieces and the aluminum wheels. And then it did like the two-tone thingy on the seats, which I wasn't expecting, but I was like, oh, okay, cool. But yeah, 35 on the front doors, 50 on the windshield. I like it. That turned out nice. Yeah, that fits really well. Oh, I got a little thing I gotta heat up. Gotta heat up this guy. Yeah, it was like, the XLT comes with so much. And I was trying to figure out things that I'd be actually missing. The only thing this didn't come with that I really wish it had was GPS, so I could have the speed limit signs on the gauges. I missed that. But two-way system, so if you lock it, watch this, it'll turn green. Whoop. Turns green, lets you know that your remote started it. Oops, not that one. Press it twice and then it shuts back off. The remote start, they're like the only company that I know of. Who else does a two-way system? I'm gonna make some coffee. Hang on one sec. Canon. Can you start from the app? Can you start from the app? Yep. Yeah, and that's free. I don't even think they're going to charge me after a year. God, that headset, man. This thing still, it like flops all the way over. I just need to adjust this. It's driving me nuts. I'm going to make some coffee, though. See this. It falls over, and I have to, like, whoa. And the app's been really good. Toyota, the app was terrible for a long time. So when I went to start it out of the app, for the longest time it kept logging me out. So I'd have to type in my email and password, log in, and then I'd go to remote start it, and oh, sorry, you forgot to actually lock the car. So then you have to send a signal for it to lock. So let's do that. Let me see. Ford. So it pops up that fast, and then you can just click start. Oops, I gotta press and hold it. There it goes. So it goes through what, like cell phone stuff, so it always takes a little bit. And it locked it. And it honked again. And it honked again. This vehicle failed to start. Is it because it wasn't locked? Do I have to do that same thing? Okay, now it's locked. So now we'll see. How'd you know the passenger door was open? I didn't even know the passenger door was open. All right, hang on. What I really want to know is, somebody fucking, you guys pay more attention than I do. Okay, it's unlocked. Oh, but it did. Hang on one second. So it's unlocked right now. I want to see if it'll lock itself and start. No. Ford, you're making me look real bad right now. Oh, it's just not remote starting. Driver's door's ajar, I know. My only other thought is we just remote started it. So, I would expect it to work. But hang on. Let's go drive it. Look, we're driving it. We'll drive it back forward. We'll park it. We'll get out of it. And we'll close it. No, the keys are here. Remote start. Still unlocked. There it goes. My best guess, between leaving the door open and fiddling with it, it put it in some weird mode, and you just needed to like restart it. No, it'll do auto lock, but I hate auto locks. That drives me crazy, so I always turn off auto locks. So now it's locked. So if I leave the keys over here, it shouldn't unlock, right? It's not gonna unlock. And then when I have the keys, you just walk up to it, and it'll stay remote started, unlock, and it'll stay remote started. That's so nice. So, and then you don't even have to put your foot on the brake to start it. You just push the button. That's nice. See, Toyota drove me crazy because if you left it on lock, you had to send a lock command first. But this, it doesn't care. You just tell it to start, and then it'll lock it for you, and then start it. Because, duh. Good job, Ford. Thank you. Yeah, and then with the Toyota, when you go to open the door, it immediately shuts off. Well, what's the point of that? I'm to my car. I'm going to start it. It shouldn't work unless you have a key fob. Because some people are like, "Well, of course it's not going to work." Or, of course it's got to shut off, because then somebody could just drive off with it. Well, if that's the case. Same with Mazda. I didn't realize I'd only ever had, like, Ford vehicles. Or my dad had a remote start company. So I would have just remote starts through them. And then I had, like, a Pontiac, and then I had a Escape, and then I had an Explorer. To me, it's bad for the engine, right? Because then you go to remote start it, it runs for like 10 minutes and then shuts off. Or then you go to start it, and then as soon as you open the door, oh, it's got to shut back down, and oh, it's got to restart. Stupid. But this is great. Canon. So, I don't know. I kind of think it's funny. I've always had vehicles like this, so it's funny to like try some other stuff and then come back to it and then realize like how many just nice practical features actually work. It's good. But yeah, it's tinted now. Look at that. 35. You can totally tell with all that glare. Is the hose for the compressor a Flexzilla hose? No, that was an Amazon air hose. I got it because it was blue. Well, out of the cheaper hoses, it was a nice color compared to the other ones. All the Flexzilla stuff, I think, is this color right here. I love this color. This is awesome. But it starts to yellow and everything, too. Will you sell Apex on the 313 site? Yeah, it should have it. All the... Ooh, there might need to be updated as far as the... I should double check on this. Yeah, I'm gonna have to update it. But the change happened really recently. So basically, they're not selling 2 versions anymore. They're only gonna be selling the one updated version. Because when they're buying that, they're gonna want the nicer one. So it's a little bit more expensive on their end to produce, but I think they're keeping the pricing the same for now. Let me see. Oh, okay. So it's in a few different sizes. So you gotta order the 40-inch rolls. They're basically blowing out the rest of the stock for a short time. You got the high wall weather mats. It actually, it just came with it. I don't know. We saw the other floor mats in here. I wasn't even going to, check this out before I bought it. I was basically set on it. So I was sitting there doing paperwork before I even looked at it. And everything else has been, a bonus. I knew what I was getting into with an Explorer. And they have all the features that are listed and stuff. But I didn't even know it had those color seats until I had already signed papers on it and was checking it out. I was like, cool. So yeah, they had swapped out the floor mats already with the good ones, with the WeatherTech type floor mats. Oh my god, I gotta show you guys something too. Hang on, I gotta throw this on. So my wife has done a lot of little touches just to make it very like family friendly and like easy to clean and stuff. And I had this idea, so I get to take credit for one thing. So like she's done like these hooks, she's got organization there. She got like these little like trash can things and stuff. So we're just doing stuff that just makes it easy to maintain. And another thing that I found was this fucking thing right here. This is like a micro vacuum and air blower. These things are super cool. So if you flip it this way, turn this little thing this way, it's a little vacuum. So for, you know, just your simple cleanup shit. You could do your whole floor mats, you could do touch-ups, you can get in between shit. Just all that like little like, all that stuff on the seat. You just got a vacuum right there in your glove box. And the other thing, if you flip it this way, and then it turns into a blower, right? I don't want to take that off. Oh. We're gonna, hang on. Let me put that in my pocket. Let's lock this back up. There we go. Okay. So if you go to this setting here, now this is an air blower. So you can dust off everything and blow out all those areas that you can't reach. It's not as strong as a high-powered air compressor, but dude. And then it just charges off a USB, so you can just like keep it in your glove box or store it somewhere else. Just fucking boom, just like that. Easy peasy. It's wild that Geo doesn't sell 36 by 50 C2. I had to call them and ask for it. Do they not? Oh, 36, because they do 40s. Okay, all right. I can clear that up a little bit. This is the other thing that's kind of annoying about window film, is for the longest time window film was made in 60-inch rolls. So you could order 36, 40, and have 20, 24s, 36, and 40s. But you can also have, you can order film now in 72-inch rolls. So then you can get like two 36-inch rolls. Oh wait, how's that work out? Yeah, so some of their film lines are made in 72-inch rolls, and some of them are made in 60-inch rolls. Mike, what are you guys talking about? Is it not working? It is on. That's the thing. I never turned it off. Hello. Oh. Oh, that's from last time. Oh, that's why. Okay. That makes sense. Sorry. Okay, but let me go back here. So some of the rolls are made in 72-inch rolls, and some of them are made in 60. So Pro Classic and Pro Nano, I think, are now 72, and carbon, all the carbon stuff is 60. So when they cut down 36 by 50, then they also have, it just makes film logistics more difficult. So you gotta think, they always think of the roll as a whole. So then what happens is short rolls start stacking up on the shelf, and then they have to do like a clearance sale and whatnot. So they do what they can to at least offset how much inventory is stacking up on the shelf that isn't gonna be sold. So with a 50-foot roll, it just doesn't quite make sense in a 36-inch size, but in a 40 it does. So costs a little bit more to get it in a 40, but if you wanna just do the 50, then I would do it that way. Which would say is the better option. 20, you're gonna use more just because more vehicles are gonna be a 20% match. 15 is gonna be too dark in a lot of cases. So if I had to pick one, go with 20. 15 I use as a backup, usually for like people that are a little bit more particular, or not particular, but you're talking to them, they've had 20 before, they're like, man, I just wish it was a little darker. Then I show them the 15. Makes it a lot easier. So with all my display boards up front, I have Pro Classic, C2, Pro Nano, all in 50, 35, 20, and 5 to make choices very simple. But in the carbon, there's some extra percentages. Oh yeah, that's another thing about Apex. Apex, there's more percentage options. Let's go up front again. I can talk about this. That mic is not on. It sure looks like it's on. It's doing its thing on my thing. Anyways. Okay, let's take one more quick vacation here. See, this is why it's nice to not tint, because then I have time for this kind of stuff too. So these are my displays up here, and each one has 50, 35, 20, and 5. 50, 35, 20, and 5. This one has 50, 35, 20, and 5, but it also has 70. What's been annoying is I could have 50, 40, 35, 20, 15, and 5. But for this one, I only have 50, 35, 20, and 5. I don't have 40. I don't have a 15. I don't have those in-between shades. So what would be nice is this is more simple. You have some simple shades to pick from, but going up to carbon, you all of a sudden not only get more heat rejection, but you have some more shade options. And then you have those exact same shade options when going into ceramic. So that's another reason why I'm thinking about just swapping out at least most, if not all, the Pro Nano lineup with Apex. Also, I need a display board too. I could just put a piece of tape, maximum heat rejection, Apex, and then I think I'm good to go. That would be pretty cool. But this has been like my number one gripe with Pro Nano. The 35 is fine. And when you put it on a windshield or front doors, you get used to it. But it's definitely warmer. So look at how close the 50s are. Look at how close the 20s are. 20 is like good enough, like it's very even. 35 is just a little warm. I wish it was more neutral. So if anything, I'm gonna swap out 35. But that's what I do. So I didn't think of that. I do have 40 and 15 already in carbon, but I think I might do the same thing then with the ceramic and just keep some more shade options. Because this is a quick upsell. And then you could limit stuff too. For example, like you don't have to carry every Pro Classic option. So, but windshields are like such a bigger add-on that I don't want to make them overly expensive either. So if somebody is just going for privacy, then yeah, you want 50. But then if you want heat performance, then you add 50 this. And then if you really want heat performance, then you go with that. But you can adjust your offerings a little bit just to make them a little bit more like, hey, you've got, they only have 50, 35, 20, and 5 in this film. And then you have more shade options and you have heat. So that's always, it's a pretty good, you know, like Apple with storage options. You can buy a cheap iPad, but oh, sorry, it's only got 32 gigabytes of storage. So 15 is darker. Yes, 15 is darker, blocks out a little bit more heat. So don't get hung up too much on heat performance between the different film lines. 15 and 20 is going to be very similar. You're not going to notice, like you're really not going to physically feel a difference. But you'll see a difference in a number. Canon. I'll hold this mic here in case there's a problem, but I don't think that's the problem. I think it was, I think it was an issue, but now it should be fixed. Apex is only the 4 shades. Apex should have more. Ooh, okay, here's the other thing. Damn it, there's always a catch. It's gonna take a little bit to switch over. Oh. Hang on. Is that? Huh. All right. We'll go back to this one. I installed a software for TikTok, and ever since then, there's been an issue with this mic, but we haven't streamed very much, so I forgot about it. There. Rode mic. Boom. So we'll do that for now. I gotta check this. Is it that one? Yay! Okay, cool. Let me look up automotive films. C2 versus Pro Nano as far as heat rejection. Oh yeah, that's, you're gonna make me run up front. But yeah, I wanna see what they have. Apex. Maybe they don't have 40 yet. So this is like a big change. Geo is just going through like a lot of growth and a lot of changes lately, and they move a lot of film. So like these changes, they happen quick, but they're, you know, 6 months from now type of quick really to like catch up with all this stuff. So I'll talk to, if you want to know for sure, just give them a call and they'll tell you exactly what's going on. But I haven't paid attention for a quick minute. I know they were talking about offering more shades with Apex, but with the Ultra 2 mil, yep, okay. I got to adjust my sight. I just noticed how much I have to adjust it. With the Ultra 2 mil, it's a little bit more expensive, and they're only shipping it in 40-inch tall rolls right now because they've only been able to do 5, 20, 35, and 50 because they've had to, like, it's an expensive film. They've had to do a lot of changes lately. So they basically did an entire run of Apex in a 1.5 mil. And now you're talking about now replacing your entire lineup with a 2 mil on, like, the most expensive shit that you've ever made. So those things, they do move a lot of stuff. They're growing really quick, and those changes are happening really fast. Like, I thought this 2 mil change was going to happen, like, towards the end of the year. And he's like, no, in, like, a month, I'll have it done. I don't think noise canceling is on when you have that mic. I don't have noise canceling on the mic at all. I just noticed that the mic started screwing up after I installed, like, another software, but this was, like, a couple weeks ago. I haven't streamed since then. This is just a temporary fix. So I don't know what's going on. It's just being goofy. But yeah, with these, with the film changes, they're gonna change up there, and they're gonna basically get rid of the 1.5 mil film, and then they're going to just stick with the Ultra 2 mil. So it just takes some time. I think he's a few minutes behind the stream, probably. It sounds like something that would happen for him. Okay. And then we'll do, we'll take a trip up front. I'll show you the differences between, and then we'll pull this sample of Apex just to show you how cool this stuff is. So this is the main differences between all the different film types. So this is a meter. This basically tells you the heat that's coming off of this lamp. So I like to set it away so it says 300. 300 is just a nice round number. It basically means that, hey, take my word for it that my hand is here. I feel a lot of heat coming off of this bulb. So any of my customers, they see these, they're like, what's the differences? Come over here. This is 20% dyed. This is 20% carbon. This is 20% ceramic. So this is Pro Classic, 20%, C2 carbon, 20%, Pro Nano Ceramic, 20%. So they're all the same. So the meter's at 300, 20% dyed. As soon as I flip it to C2 carbon, then it's at 150. So that number goes from 300 to 150. That number gets cut in half. Man, I was behind. Yep, we figured that out. So anyways, Pro Classic, 300. C2 carbon drops down to like 150. So it blocks out half of the amount of heat. So I can still feel some heat coming through there. It's not as bad as what it was. But when you go to the ceramic, that's where you can hardly feel the heat anymore. And the meter drops down to 75. So it was at 150, 75. So it's kind of funny how it's literally like dropping in half every time. And what's cool about this shit, so this is at 390 right now. So this is no glass, all heat coming through. Let's put the film down. It's at 37. So this is just a beast for like blocking out heat. This stuff is crazy. So to block out that amount of heat and maintain clarity is like the holy grail of ceramic window films right now. There's usually some... Sorry, oh my god, I'm just... my mic. It's flip-flopping all over the place. But what I was saying is, for this to go from... like, to block out a lot of heat is not really hard. you usually trade out blocking out a lot of heat with clarity. So it's just not going to be as clear on a sunny day. What's crazy about this stuff is that it actually maintains a ton of clarity, and it blocks out even more heat than any of the other ceramic that I have up there. And so this will be basically on par as far as heat rejection goes with any other super ceramic, but it's going to be clearer. So that is just super cool to see. So they're going to be revamping their entire Apex line with this stuff, just because of the sheer demand for it. But I'm excited. I like that change. So with enough time, they'll probably fill in the gaps as far as 15 and 40%, so there'll be some extra options. But for now, it's only available in 40-inch rolls, and it's only available in 4 percentages. And then if you want that light percentage, just get Pro Nano Ultra. That is going to be right on par. Like the 70% already blocks out more with Pro Nano than the other stuff does, than the lesser shades, because it's in a different league. The clarity is what is the seller. That's going to be the main differentiator between them and any of the other ones, yeah. But it's not, so it's the low angle haze situation. So you're not going to see a difference sitting in the garage. When you drive around with it, what I would suggest is put that, or yeah, put one ceramic on the piece of glass and tint the other half of the same piece of glass in another ceramic, and then you can see the differences. Is it better to buy 24-inch rolls or 36? Well, with a 36, you can cover a back window. With a 24, you can't cover a back window on like a sedan. 24 is going to be more for side windows. So what I usually stock is 36 or 40, and then I'll have 24-inch rolls just to keep inventory a little easier. If you want to save a little bit more money, get 20s and 24s, and then pick and choose when you want to use them. 40 you can cut in half, so it's 20, but it's kind of hard to do that on the spot. Hang it off a shelf and then measure and then cut it. Have you guys seen my TikTok? Hang on, I'm going to go to the group. I'm going to be on here for just for a little bit longer. Does that work now? Yeah, no mic, because I never had this mic on the scene. Okay. Yep. Oh, wow, I got 17 posts to go through. I got my tint done 2 days ago. Are these bubbles normal? No, this is curling back off the dots, and then these dots, these are dirt specks. These don't go away. That is not normal. That is not good. There's not a lot of dirt. Make a TikTok on removing back window tint. Yeah, we were going to do that. That's on the list of things to do. We did it on the door window. My TikTok has been crazy. It's been so cool. I've had a lot of fun doing shorts lately. No, I didn't want to. I wanted to pause it. How do I pause it? Was my TikTok deleted or something? Why does it say something went wrong? No, it still says it's there. No. Bummer. I need a TikTok. So I've been posting these as shorts, though, too. Shorts on YouTube, not all of them yet. We were trying to figure out shorts, but TikTok, I can post videos that are a little bit longer. Shorts have to be a minute. How do I get to, like, my personal? Click this button. There, this one. So, yeah, we've been doing, like, these videos. They've been doing really well, though. The views have been crazy. Hey, there they are. Now they work. Yeah, so a handful of weeks ago, probably like a month ago now, we were at like, I don't know, like sub 20,000 followers. Now we're at 77. But yeah, check out the TikTok if you haven't seen it. We're also posting these, like I said, as shorts. But a lot of those, like, we're putting a lot of effort into explaining situations and how to deal with them. So, like, just the simple stuff, like, hey, do I need to shrink a back window? And, like, what does that mean? That basically means that it looks like that, and then how to do it. We did, like, the Walmart one. But what's cool is we have, like, general, like, I thought this one was a silly reply. I'm trying to tint my front two windows dry, but it's sticking on the glass. Can you please tell me why? And then so I try and show what tinting a window dry looks like. I like these. They all turned out really nice. Who knew I'd be into tinting? But yeah, we'll do some other stuff. Back window is definitely on the list. I'm not looking forward to making that video because I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to leave an entire sheet of tint on it and just rip it off just to show the glue. So there's some definite work that goes into them. But it's fun to answer all these questions and make like videos that are very, very relevant in just a different form now. So these are the types of videos that I put on the channel. They're just not as snappy. But it's all those like, hey, I need this explained in under a minute type of situations. We've gotten pretty good at it, though. The dry TikTok gave me anxiety when I watched it. I mean, it's just dry and trying to push out some bubbles. That's what it looks like. There's people that, like, if you read through the comments of that kind of stuff, it's really interesting. So what I've learned is a lot of people see glass as one layer. Whatever they see on the outside layer is the same thing as whatever's on the inside layer, and the same thing about darkness. So that's why so many people thought tint was dark on the outside and then clear on the inside. It wasn't even just the camera exposure. It was just like, oh yeah, why is it easier to see through when I'm sitting in the vehicle than out? It's something that I never really considered because I've always been around cars and tint and whatnot. Okay, so which one was that? Oh, yeah. So, like, this was a simple video that we made. We actually didn't even put that much work into this one. And, yeah, it, like, blew the hell up, which is crazy. I don't believe you, Jeffrey Dahmer. Oh, yeah. How much does it cost to tint your windows? Silly question, but why the inside of the window and not the outside? Try putting on tint using thick water. Okay, but how do you get it off? And see, that's where we made the removal video. I use Windex, works perfectly. And then we made a video, like this is what's fun about TikTok too. I literally made a TikTok using Windex because people are like, oh, I use Windex to put on my tint. Works great. But you get all these people that knew nothing about window tint or are just now generally curious about it. But yeah, like that's what's so, oh man, you don't. They're genuinely interested. That's crazy. Yeah. That's what not everybody's going to understand is so important. Is like these videos really introduce people to concepts about window tinting, things that they never really thought of. And it just, oh, I never thought to get window tint before. Or, oh, I didn't know that about tint. Or, you know, when you start talking about the differences between them, just quality levels. Like, this is now reaching such a broad audience that you're going to have so many people that, like, oh, you're giving away all our secrets on how to do it. But at the same time, you get so many more people that are like, yeah, that looks too complicated. I'm going to hire a professional to do it. Thanks. Thanks for showing me how much work goes into it. Like, I'm seeing that a lot. So it's been really fun. Just dumb questions? No. So they're simple questions, but what's really powerful about answering that is that it's really good for business. Because it might be like, aha, people don't know about that. Dude, same thing with me with so many different trades and stuff. It's because I'm not in that. I don't know anything about it. But when you halfway educate somebody about what you do, they become more interested and they have more respect for that skill. Because then instead of just shopping around and finding the cheapest place that's going to do it, they might actually be a little bit more thoughtful about the research. Not everybody, but it's just like, dude, this video got 13 million views on that one. That's such a massive amount of exposure for window tint and anything about it. So it's been a lot of fun to do. It's good for everybody. So even though it might seem dumb, it's not. It's really cool. Alrighty. Well, I think that about wraps it up for today. So thank y'all for hanging out. We'll be back soon. I know I got something tomorrow. I might go live with whatever I have coming in tomorrow. Did you slow down? Yeah. Things have definitely been somewhat slower here. We've been using that time to make lots of videos too. It also got like much colder here. So it was starting to warm up for a little bit. I was getting more phone calls and then it dropped off again. Yeah, I got what do I got tomorrow? I got a Subaru Crosstrek tomorrow. Oh, it's got those front quarters. Don't they? They have front quarters on Crosstreks, right? Please be the only Subaru without them. No, it definitely has them. Damn it. And the rear ones. Damn you, Subaru. It's got these ones. It's got these windows, these ones, and rear quarter windows on top of that, and the back glass. There's a lot of glass on that car for being a little mid-size. Like this one, it doesn't have front quarters. It's got the rear ones though. Yeah, I likely will. He was talking about ceramic, so it'd be a good Pro Nano tint slip test too again. But it's on a new car, so probably not going to have an issue. Alrighty, my dudes. We'll see you later. Have a good one. Bye.